Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of different services that I offer to assist you in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. We're going to be doing a twin flame reading today, and we're going to be doing this in a specific manner for a specific reason. We're going to be looking at the feminine and the masculine. And we're going to be looking at what's going on with the divine feminine and what's going on with the divine masculine in terms of energies, right? So when we think about the twin flame journey, a lot of times we think about, when we talk about, for instance, twin flame union, we're thinking about union with our counterpart in the physical. And we tend to, because of the nature of the twin flame connection, we tend to get really focused, like hyper-focused, on coming back into physical union with our counterpart because we long and we yearn to be physically close to them so much. But the real emphasis of this journey is not the outer union with our counterpart. It's the inner union within ourselves. We have an energy or an individual who outwardly carries that core frequency or that sort of overriding frequency of a divine masculine, and another who carries that core frequency or vibration of the divine feminine, right? However, both parties have both of those energies within themselves. And this is key when it comes to the ascension, because we cannot ascend until our masculine and our feminine essences within ourselves are balanced. So in order to achieve union on the outside, we first have to achieve this union on the inside. And as you watch this video, I want you to watch this not just necessarily for a counterpart, although sometimes the readings may really feel as though they're going that way, but I want you to try to watch this for the feminine and the masculine essence within yourself. And you may see how possibly, because everything's a mirror, right? So what's going on internally with our own masculine and feminine essence may also be going on with our counterpart, with their masculine and feminine essence. And we may see there's a lot of interesting parallels, right? Because like that's the interesting thing about the twin flame dynamic or the twin flame journey, right? Is like they are reflecting to us. They're an outward manifestation of an inward journey. So we see where we are in our own personal journey reflected back to us in flesh and bone. And so it's very, very fascinating. It's very interesting. So as I'm going through this reading, you may be finding yourself being like, oh, I'm trying to do this for myself, but I see so much of what I anticipate or I feel like is going on with them. Or if you are in contact, what I know is going on with them, right? But then it's like I challenge you, if you start doing that, to turn it around and be like, okay, but can I see where that same thing is happening within me? Like really just continue to pull it back into yourself and see what happens when you do that. And so I'm going to start out, I was going to start out with one deck, but now I'm feeling like I want to grab this one. So this is one of my old faithfuls, one of my favorites. It's the Mystical Shaman Oracle. You really can't go wrong with this deck. And so first we're going to do, all right, we're going to do Divine Masculine. What's going on with the Divine Masculine? Divine Masculine energies. What's going on with our masculine energies? Okay, I was going to say we don't need 100 cards. They try to give me so many, or maybe it's just my sloppy shuffling. Who knows? So we have the Circle. So the masculine energy, and I feel like we got this card once before when I did a reading on my original channel. That's really funny. So, but yeah, this is that interconnectedness. Like the masculine energy is really in this space of understanding and appreciating the interconnectedness of all things. And like, I'm feeling like the cyclical nature of all things as well. Just the spiraling nature of all things. The spiraling nature of their own healing journey. And how that deepens and deepens. And going through yet another spiral of that journey right now. But really understanding and seeing, just like we were talking about, how everything is reflected because everything is one. And just feeling into that energy, wanting to connect more with the collective, with the people and the places that facilitate that feeling of being home. Wanting to connect with the counterpart as well. I'm feeling that energy of the masculine just really being in that energy of wanting to connect with his feminine. And so this can be our inner masculine energy wanting that support of the inner feminine energy. This can also be that masculine wanting that connection with that physical manifestation of their counterpart as well. And just seeing the way, focusing on that energy of really bridging that divide, of understanding that we are, I mean, you see all the hands here, right? Understanding that we are all one, and really seeing the places where people are divided right now and wanting to help to bring people together. That's where I feel like the divine masculine energy is. Let's get a card for the feminine. What's the feminine? Okay. And once again, we have more cards than I was looking for here. But so we have the corn. So this is the harvest. The feminine energy is in a season of harvest, of having worked really hard on stuff and being like reaping the rewards of that. That's the energy. And we also have the luminous warrior. So the feminine energy is in her warrior energy right now. She's becoming more enlightened. She's focused on her path and really moving forward with that, and things are manifesting for her as a result of this. Like, she is ready to fight that good fight, to fight the fight that needs to be fought right now, right? She's calling on that luminous warrior. And it's funny because to me, this card reminds me of divine masculine energy. So it's like she's embracing her divine masculine side right now. And really that energy within her, that is that warrior. And that is really helping to bring this abundance into her life, into her reality, to manifest all of this for her. And then we also have the time master. So she's really learning about time. She's learning how to bend time, how time is not necessarily what she thought. And she's also really understanding this concept that, like, we can affect time from so many different positions. Like, this card always makes me think of timelines and of like jumping timelines and hopping timelines. And she's really doing that. She's hopping into her most fortuitous timeline right now. And do we have any more cards for the masculine? Maybe I cut that off a little too soon for him. Let's see if we have any more cards for the masculine. What's going on with the masculine energy? Oh, that just fell right out. Okay, so we have Pachamama, which is that earth energy, right? Mother Earth, Gaia. That is her energy, and I'm going to read some of this from the book, actually. But that is just beautiful. And to me, like, this is a card that makes me think of divine feminine energy. So it's really interesting that I'm getting cards that remind me of the one energy in the other energies reading, which tells me that, first of all, in the outer world, talking about physical counterparts, like the masculine and the feminine are very much thinking about each other and desiring each other. But more than that, it's like they're merging in the non-physical, and they're also coming into union within themselves. Like, this is what we were talking about with that alchemy, with that balancing of those energies within ourselves, being able to call on that other energy, right? The masculine being able to call on the feminine energy, the feminine being able to call on the masculine energy within ourselves, and to bring forth and utilize whatever aspect of ourselves is necessary to do what it is that we need to do, to accomplish what it is that we need to accomplish. But more than that, yeah, I'm really feeling this energy of the masculine and the feminine energies unifying within, but also like in the etheric realms, really coming together into union. Like, even if it's not looking like it at the physical level right now, like, this is happening on the energetic level, which is eventually going to pull them into each other's orbit in the physical as well. Everything, right, we talked about, it happens within, and then it does happen etherically as well, and then it happens in the physical. And like, you guys, if you are in a which obviously you're in a twin flame dynamic, having a twin flame experience, or you wouldn't be watching this video, right? So you may be feeling your counterpart. You may be feeling their energy sort of coming forth. You may feel it surrounding you. You may just have this sense that they're thinking about you, that they're talking about you, that they're trying to reach out to you. There may be a lot of telepathic communication going on right now. Those things, you may be sensing that, and you're sensing that because your energies are merging more. Your energies are merging in the non-physical, and you're actually developing the ability to call on aspects of each other in your day-to-day lives. Like channel each other's energy without even necessarily knowing that you're doing it. So something that your counterpart is really good at, some way that they're good at speaking, some way that they're good at thinking or analyzing, whatever it is, like you may find yourself naturally calling on those parts and realizing that they exist within you as well. And sometimes you may recognize it as their energy, sometimes you may not, because honestly, as those energies merge, like those energies were originally one energy and they're merging back into that oneness of energy. So yeah, that's going on as well. Yes, so we have Pachamama represents the unconditional love that the earth has for all her children, including the stones, the plants, the animals, and humans. She is the goddess of earth, known as Gaia, who pervades all creation in our planet. Thanks to Pachamama, our timeless soul can experience life in a biological body. The joy and pain we taste during our brief time on earth are invitations to discover the boundless love of Pachamama. You are a child of the earth. Now is the time to eat right, love right, and be joyous, regardless of the circumstances you may find yourself in. Be grateful for your life, your body, and all that nourishes you. Pachamama invites you to relish each breath, embrace your joy and your pain equally, and discover love through both. Let Pachamama know how much you appreciate all of her blessings with an act of service such as planting a tree, helping save an endangered species, or protecting the ocean. Yeah, so this is interesting because we have that, and we also have the Sweat Lodge that came out, which is about purification. So I feel as though it's about shadow work and healing and purification. So I'm feeling as though really the divine masculine energy right now is being called to honor the earth, to honor the unity and connectivity of all things, to really step into that stewardship role of becoming a steward of the earth, a protector of the earth, as well as a protector of the feminine, right? And so Pachamama is the original creation energy, right? I don't think we've ever gotten into this concept on this channel before, but it's this concept that the original creation energy was a feminine charge. And that feminine, from that feminine charge, a masculine charge was created so that they could create together and create more. And so all was birthed from this synergy of these two energies, these merging and separating of these two polarities, these two energies, right? But it was that divine feminine energy that came first. And so the masculine energy, and we see this in ancient cultures, we see this in before the modern world, and the modern world that can go back like hundreds of years, right? Like modern is a relative term, but we see this in ancient cultures, this honoring of the feminine as that original creative force, right? Like the female body is a portal that brings life, that creates life, that brings life from one dimension into another, right? Like the feminine energy is that creation energy, it is that love energy. And that masculine energy is that light. It's that information. The masculine energy is the protector of the feminine, right? So he supports the feminine. He encourages the feminine. He protects the feminine. He helps the feminine to create and to continue to birth life and to maintain that life and maintain the order of that life. Like these energies need each other, but the masculine energy is coming back into that understanding of himself as this luminous warrior who protects and honors the feminine energy and protects the feminine energy in all forms. As it says, Gaia, this planet itself is a feminine energy, protecting the earth, protecting the women, the feminine energies in his life, protecting and honoring that feminine energy within himself. and really nourishing that and allowing that to grow and understanding that that only makes him stronger, not weaker, right? Feminine energy is not weak. Feminine energy has been sort of, that's the false narrative that we've been fed, right? That feminine energy is weak. It's not. Feminine energy is so powerful, but it's more powerful with the protection and the encouragement and the support and the structure of that masculine energy. So embracing that part, like the masculine, just men. I want to say gender. I don't like using the word. I don't know what word to use, but men in general, right? However that you identify yourself as that, whatever that means to you, have traditionally been taught that vulnerability is weakness, that any of the feminine qualities within themselves are weak. And men are starting to realize that that's not true, and that gives them a different kind of strength. And really calling on that different kind of strength. So it is that synergy of the masculine also embracing the feminine aspects of his own nature. And as he does that from the place of also calling upon his own strength and his own resolve and his own integrity, is really stepping into a whole new level of empowerment. And it's just like a continual releasing, right? It's like that spiral. In that deeper spiral of healing now, where he's releasing even more of what doesn't serve him anymore. Whether this is any of those toxic traits, any of those toxic beliefs, any of those misconceptions around allowing himself to be vulnerable, or around the feminine and the energy of the feminine, like really seeing and honoring the beauty of the feminine energy within himself and within all feminines, which of course is only bringing him into deeper resonance with his own divine feminine, both within and also without, which is pulling that energy in as well, because she can feel that. And she, of course, is drawn to that, because that's what we all want, right? I don't care if you're a man or a woman, whatever those terms mean to you, masculine or feminine. We all want to be seen, and we want to be held, and we want to be worshipped. We want to be honored. Right? That's the beauty and the sacredness of the twin flame connection and journey, is that way that we honor ourselves, and we honor each other first by honoring these aspects within ourselves. And so the feminine energy is doing this as well, as she's honoring that masculine side of her. She's honoring that fierce warrior side, that part of her that isn't afraid to stand up, that isn't afraid to fight injustice, that isn't afraid to speak the things that need to be spoken and do the things that need to be done, but doing that with integrity and doing that with honor and doing that with compassion, right? And the harvest that that's going to reap. And just really this ability to like be the warrior in multiple dimensions and timelines, and understand, like call upon her luminous warrior energy from other lifetimes and from other dimensions, and really like synergize all of that and call that into being in this lifetime. Call on all those different aspects of herself. Move through time and space to reclaim those aspects of her essence that are necessary at this time for the mission at hand. And so let's now get an energy for, and the ancient ones are supporting this process. Let's get a card now for the union energy. And this can be inner union as well. Try to look at it for that, but just union energy. Card for that. Card for the union energy. And we have the drum. So right off the bat, I'm feeling this card talks about trance and journeying and stuff like that. I'm feeling like in order for you guys to connect, do so in that state. Go into that state of meditation, that state of trance, that state of journeying, really within, and that's funny because we were talking about the spiral, right? When we were talking about the masculine energy, and that's on the bottom of the deck too. But go into that state. Like there are meditations that you can do for the balancing of your own masculine and feminine polarities. So really working with that. And if you are trying to connect with a counterpart in the physical, like they are connecting with you, you are merging in the non-physical. So in that trance and journeying state, you can really feel that. You can communicate with them. They're trying to communicate. They are communicating with you. There's all kinds of telepathic communication going on right now between signs and synchronicities and songs and all kinds of different stuff. Like, you guys are communicating, but you can communicate more deeply in this state. And you can also go into this trance state, this journeying state, however that works for you, and feel that merging of those energies within yourself and how powerful and empowering that can be. So yeah, just a lot of energies around that, I think. And then we've got more, of course. The drum invites a trance state where healing and prophecy happen. The drum invites you to take the next bold step in your journey. The forces in heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. This is not a time to push against the river. The current will take you exactly where you want to go once you jump in. Collect your power tools and summon your courage, because it is going to be a wild and glorious journey. Allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. And so this is that union energy, right? So this is like when your masculine and feminine energies are unified within yourself. And when then that naturally draws your counterpart in so that you are unified in the physical as well. This is what it's like. It's this beautiful, effortless flow. It's this big, bold action, the way that you're able to make these incredible waves in the world, right? To really step forward, to be that luminous warrior, right? And to be these stewards of the earth. To create this heaven on earth, right? With the unification of these energies. Heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. Like, everything just flows naturally, right? As we unify with these aspects of ourselves, as we unify and then ultimately with each other, right? It's like spirit is there 100% of the time, just guiding that journey, guiding us along that path. And all we have to do is just take the next right step and the next right step and the next right action and the next right action. And it does not feel like a struggle, right? It feels harmonious because we are in that flow. We are living our divine purpose and we are absolutely supported. Like, as we learn how to call upon these feminine, these masculine energies, how they can interplay with each other, how they can complement each other, right? As they were naturally meant to do at their highest vibration, functioning in their fullest. Anything is possible because that is our ultimate creative potential, right? Is when the masculine and the feminine energies are working synergistically. That's when we are the most powerful creators. And when the forces of heaven and earth stand behind us, facilitating us to move effortlessly in the direction that we are meant to move, which is, in case anyone was confused, creating this new heaven on earth, anchoring in this fifth dimension, helping the world to move into that heart-centered way of living, to move into that unity consciousness, to really embrace that and what it means. And we're going to get one card for union from this because I was drawn to the Starseed Oracle too. And then we have Earthed, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. And then Fall into my arms, surrender holding the opposites, extremes of life. So this card's about polarity, which is perfect, right? Because that's what we're experiencing. The polarity and how those two polarities aren't really all that different at all, right? They're two sides of a coin, but they're two sides of the same coin. So it's like finding those areas where those things that you have in common, right? Seeing and understanding each other as those different aspects of ourselves, right? Really seeing the reflection, seeing the way that those two different sides, those two opposites really complement each other. And that contrast helps to enrich things and helps to add to that dynamic kind of energy, right? And then, yeah, fully anchoring into this Earth's journey. So this is really important because we need to be present. Those of us who relate to And anyone who is on the twin flame path, right? Like, you are not of this earth. You are not of this earth. And you know that. And sometimes that's really painful for you, right? And you want to go back where you came from, but it's so important to be fully rooted in this experience right now. So this union energy is all about the surrender. It's all about the honoring of those polarities, those opposites, the merging of those, and the understanding that there is no such thing, because we are all just reflections of the one, right? Like, we are the two sides, like we said, two sides of the same coin, right? All of that understanding, that loving surrender, and that playful exploration of these polarities, and how those are actually similarities, right? How they complement each other. And then really being able to be focused and rooted in the mission right now. Like, okay, I'm here right now. I incarnated here right now for a reason. Like, we are bringing heaven to earth, and we're from heaven, but right now we're on earth. And so fully rooting and anchoring into that experience, so that we can then bring those higher vibrational energies, which we embody at our core, and be channels for those energies to come and to transmit into this reality, to help change this reality, to help this reality evolve, to help all of humanity evolve. But first, we have to be fully anchored here. We have to be fully anchored here. And when we're unified within, we are then able to be fully present and fully anchored. Yeah. So, any last cards, any last snippets of guidance for this twin flame reading from the Starseed Oracle? Okay. Water your garden. So this is all about nourishing, taking care of yourself. And double mission. Lightworker Starseed, serve the world by being you. Yeah. Yeah. So this just plays more in, again, to the fact that, like, we are these physical beings, right? We're these spiritual beings having this human experience, but, like, we have to care for ourselves in this physical reality. We have to take care of our physical vessels. That's where our soul lives right now. That is our soul's home. And just confirmation, that's another way that we earth, that we ground ourselves into this reality. And it's really sweet, because with the water your garden, with the tenderness and the vibe from this card, and then the fall into my arms, I'm just getting this really sweet, tender, this vibe of just love, just this beautiful, unconditional love. And somebody just really longing for that. So that's really beautiful. And the universe also telling you that, spirit telling you, let me nourish you, let me love you, fall into my arms. And then this is just confirmation. You have a double mission. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like pretty much all light workers are starseeds, and vice versa. I could be wrong about that, but that's how it feels to me. I feel like absolutely all twin flames, from my perspective, this is only my perspective, are light workers and starseeds. And so we have a mission. Part of that mission is to ground that energy, right? To be that vessel, right? Whether we're working healing others, or we are, like, just our simple presence is grounding that energy. And the more we step into our true vibration, the more energy we're able to ground, and the more of that energy we can call in. So that's part of our mission as a light worker. And the starseed, part of that mission is also being able to embody and hold those higher frequencies, and being able to bring that different perspective, that different mentality to earth, to help to people to shift, to understand these things that come so naturally to us. Because where we come from, everybody knows this stuff, right? Where everybody comes from, like, in their truth, they know this stuff. It's just we come here and we remember it a lot more easily. And so then our task is to help others remember and to really hold that light. And then portal. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards, wild card. These doors will open. Are you ready to walk through them? So many doors. These doors to other dimensions, these doors to other opportunities, to this incredible life of beautiful synchronicity and flow. All of that is opening. And you've got the love. And that's all I want to read from that. That's what feels relevant to me right now, is you've got the love. You've got the love. Once you move out of this energy of codependency and into this energy of really being unified within self and being strong and secure in that, that's when the door is open to physical union as well, right? All right, guys. So, I love and I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would like some assistance, I do offer personal energy healings and personal readings. Those energy healings can really help you to step up into your optimal vibration, to shed any of that stuff that still needs releasing, to really step more into your authenticity and who you are. I do personal readings, I do twin flame readings, I do all of it. So reach out to me if you are interested in those services. If you like this video, hit the like button. There's a button to donate, or not a button, but a link to donate to my channel as well if you'd like to do that. Leave a comment if this resonated. And yes, remember, it's so easy to get distracted, right, by the outside, but this journey is so internal. So really just honor yourself and honor the incredible work that you're doing. Like the masculine and the feminine energies, like we are coming into so much balance, and it's so beautiful to see those sides of ourselves balancing out, and to see how we're, like I said, calling in that energy at the same time of our counterpart, and really becoming to understand that circle, right? That like we are everything. I am you and you are me. Like that is one of the greatest gifts of the twin flame journey, is that really that deepening of that understanding, right? Yeah, I think that's all I got to say for right now. I appreciate you all very much, and I will talk to you soon.